So welcome back. So we have seen the cathodic current here. So we have seen the cathodic current. Now it's turn for anodic current, or what happened next. So the rapid increase in the current which is occur in the region from B to D as the surface concentration of this Fe3 plus becomes smaller and smaller near the electrode surface. So the peak current is achieved, which is made up of the two component. One which is due to the initial current surge for the maintaining of the surface concentration of reactant, that is Fe plus 3, to its equilibrium constant. The second component is due to the normal diffusion control current. Okay, so diffusion is due to the potential difference, okay, potential difference in the ions. So the first current, which will then decays to the rapidly from point D to F, and the diffusion layer is extended further away because the concentration of Fe3 plus near the electrode surface is got decreased. So the diffusion layer is get extended, so that we get the decrease in the current from the point D to F. Okay, so here we can see that up to this point, up to this point, okay, up to this point we can see that the current is increasing once that point has been reached. So from point D to point F we get decrease in the cathodic current due to there is no reducible species available near the electrode surface, and also the diffusion control current due to the potential difference, not potential, due to the concentration difference is also less. So up to point F we got the um, decreasing cathodic current, okay? Decreasing cathodic current. So next at point F, that is we have been reached up to the point or the potential value of minus 0.15 volt. The scan direction is reverse, and the potential is now made in such a way that it will acquire the positive value. Okay, so minus 0.15 volt to we are now switching to the plus 0.8 volt. So the expected is that current should be like, it should anodic type of current, but the current however is continue to be in the cathodic direction, even though the scan has been, towards the made to the more positive potential, because the potential which is being still more negative enough so as to cause the reduction of the remaining Fe plus 3 ions. So the we have seen that reduction of that Fe plus 3 will start from plus 0.4 volt. So even if we have reversed the direction of scan, potential scan, still we get the certain reduction of this Fe3 plus species into Fe2 plus. So we get the certain cathodic potential or cathodic current. So the current however become cathodic even though we have switched the potential. So once the potential has become positive enough, that is beyond 0.4 volt, so that the reduction of Fe3 plus cannot takes place. Okay, so at this point the current goes to the zero, and okay, so here we can see that in diagram. So here initially we have reached up to this point F, where we have used the switching potential. So even if this switch potential range has been switched, we get certain cathodic current which is tends to be zero. So we have seen that up to 0.4 volt plus 0.4 volt we does not get any that anodic current. Okay, and 0.7 to 0.4 volt we get the constant zero current. Okay, constant zero current. So now once that current has been reached to the zero value, then the becomes the anodic current has been started, which is resulted due to the reoxidation of the reduced Fe plus 2. Okay. So initially when we have using the forward scan, Fe3 plus ion get reduced to the Fe2 plus. Okay, and once this process has been completed, so once we have reached to the certain potential value, this process is get reverse when we use the reverse scan. So Fe2 plus get back oxidized, reoxidized, we can say that, get back reoxidized to the Fe3 plus. Okay, so which is being near to that of electrode surface. So this anodic current will peak and then it will be start to decrease as it get accumulated near the electrode surface. So the important parameters that are generally used for the analysis of our particular sample are the anodic peak potential, cathodic peak potential, then cathodic peak current and anodic peak current. Okay, so there are the various parameters that are generally useful for the analysis. So here we can see that cathodic peak current, anodic peak current. Okay, and if we extend this graph on the potential range or the potential or input signal likewise, so we will get the cathodic peak current, peak potential and anodic peak potential. So that are the various important parameters that are used for the analysis. So for reversible reaction, this anodic and cathodic peak currents are approximately equal in the absolute value, but their sign will be different. Okay, so one will be the positive, that is cathodic current will be positive and the anodic will be negative, and the difference in the peak potential, that is 0.0592 upon n. So where n is nothing but the number of electrons. So these are the certain important parameters that are useful for obtaining the qualitative and quantitative analysis. So what are the application of this cyclic voltammetry? So cyclic voltammetry is used for the fundamental and diagnostic studies for the various electrochemical and biochemical processes. Okay, and the cyclic voltammetry, which is not used for the regular or routine analysis, which has become an important tool for the study of mechanism and the rate and oxidation of reduction of various organic and metallurgical systems. Okay, so the cyclic voltammetry will find its application in the organic and metallurgical systems for its reduction and oxidation type of reactions. So this is the cyclic voltammetry, last voltammetric technique. So we have been left with only now the ultra micro electrodes, or the electrodes that are generally used for the our analysis. Okay, so there is a difference between normal electrode, that is they are having the larger size, and another one is the ultra micro electrodes. So what is the basic difference between that normal electrodes and ultra micro electrodes? We can see in this ultra micro electrode. Okay, so the electrochemical behavior of tiny electrode, which is significantly different from the classical micro electrode, and it is obvious that because for ultra micro electrode we get the larger surface area. Okay, larger surface area is available for the ultra micro electrodes, so they will differ from its classical micro electrodes to the ultra micro electrodes. So such electrodes are often called as a microscopic electrodes or the ultra micro electrode. So to distinguish from these classical electrodes, the dimensions of such electrodes are about 20 micro electrode or might be smaller than this. Okay, so dimensions are few tens of micrometer to the 20 micrometers. Okay, so this is the range for the this ultra micro electrodes. So there are the various types of like electrodes based upon their shape. So here we can see that various type of shape: disc type of electrode, cylindrical type of electrode, or ring electrode, or the bond electrodes. Okay, band electrodes. So here we are seeing the various type of shapes of the ultra micro electrodes. So the first figure, that is figure A, we showing the planar electrode, which is formed by the sealing of the carbon fiber with the radius of about 5 micrometer or gold or platinum wire, which is having the dimensions from the 0.3 to 20 micrometer into the fine capillary tube. The fiber or the wires that are generally cut with the end of tubes. Okay, so these are very fine microelectrodes having 5 micrometer to the 0.3 to 20 micrometer dimensions. So these are referred to as the ultra micro electrodes. Okay. So next, the cylindrical type of electrode are also used, in which the small portion of the wire which was extended from the end of the tube. So this geometry has been advantage over the larger current, but the disadvantage is being the it are like fragile and difficult to clean. So this has the certain disadvantage. So the band type of electrode are also there, which are which can be fabricated and the have the better results. Okay. So the dimensions except that the magnitude of their current, which will increases with their length of band. So the electrode of this type with 20 angstrom unit width has been constructed by the sandwiching the metal films between the glassy or epoxy insulator. So the conducting material will be in between the non-conducting material. Okay, so it will be sandwiched between the glass or some epoxy insulating materials. The last type of electrodes are the okay, ultra micro electrode, having the mercury electrode as formed by the electrode deposition of the metal on the carbon or metal disc. Okay, carbon or metal disc. So what are the various advantages of this ultra micro electrodes? So there is a small IR loss, that is potential loss is very small, which makes the applicable to the various solvent at very low dielectric constants such as toluene. Okay. So if the electrode is quite large, then there is a large resistance, so that has resulted into the decrease in the current, output current. So for low dielectric constant medium, so we need to have certain electrodes which will show the very small change in the current also. So it will be better to use the ultra micro electrode in this in that case. The next is the capacitive charging current, which would often limit the detection limit with ordinary micro electrode. So it get the insignificant properties such as electrode size will result into the decrease in the capacitance and the size of the electrodes. Okay. So if we have reduced the size of this electrode, the electrode capacitance will decrease, and as a result we get the that better capacitive current, and hence we can provide the better output of the our analyte system. The next, the rate of mass transport to and fro from an electric circuit will increase as the size of an electrode will diminishes, and as a consequence of this, the steady state current has been established in unstirred solution. So the current which will be in the millisecond, or in the case of the classical electrode. So with high speed measurement we can permit the study of this much short interval current. Okay, short interval current. So these are the various types of shapes that are available for the ultra micro electrode. So disc electrode is there, cylindrical electrode, ring type of electrode, and the band type of electrodes. Okay, so these are the um, various techniques and the what are the electrodes that we generally use in the this electroanalytical method. So here we have seen the polarigraphic techniques. In that we have seen, so we have seen the task polarigraphy first, then normal pulse polarigraphy, then differential pulse polarigraphy. Okay, so we have seen the three types of technique in the polarigraphic method. Then next we have seen the voltammetric methods. Okay, voltammetry. So in voltammetry we have seen the First is your stripping voltammetry, then adaptive type of stripping voltammetry, then linear sweep voltammetry, and now we have finished the cyclic voltammetry. And the last important point is the ultra micro electrodes. Okay, so within that we have seen the what are the various types of electrodes are there, ultra micro electrodes, and what are their advantages. So this is the end of this third unit, that is electroanalytical methods. Okay.